Hello, friends. I'm now live. I do have a roaring fire going now. It's not going to stay for very long because I don't have any firewood left. So it's like sticks and paper and a little tiny Duraflame log. Thank you. Anyway, I had it going and then I took so long to remember my password to get into StreamYard. Boring. Okay, I just thought I would do a quick little reading, maybe do a little promotion for the podcast because I completely spaced out on Third Sunday Poetry, which I guess was not yesterday, but last Sunday. You know, life is just very, very full, which is good. And now I think I'm ready to do a little poetry. So I'm going to begin with what I had planned ahead for the first time in a while for Third Sunday Poetry. I'm just going to read two poems. One of them from an upcoming collection that will probably be titled Poems for Wandering Ghosts, like in the song Whiskey Rhinestones. If you follow my work, I just assume, yes, everybody's out there following my work because that keeps you going, right? Okay, I'm going to read Wanderlust from an upcoming collection, whatever it may be. Wanderlust is youth. To the land of werewolves and Dracula, to the haunts of Chad and Jeremy, posh songbirds, Etonian, to cities with their Barbie buses, their houses that stare, their noodles like grubworms in sauce, but tasting of all aromatics of life. Wandering lust, its elder, calls back to spring and its trees an orgy of blooms, and its grass-waving graveyards filled with song and warm winds. Wanderlust, you witnessed the haircut of the street orphan by the roadside and gave him oranges, and the folk dancers in blinding regalia, song-screaming girls and boys sharp whistling in rhythm, and wide-legged skirt-like pants of white, the smiling teeth of the one who put his arm around me for the photo, forgotten never. Lust wanderer, go lightly, do, go softly, you, on tiptoe, toward the music, eyes on the music, and softly go. Thank you. Wanderlust. The second poem I will read is in the collection titled The Howling Breakfast of Moon Soda, which is from 2022, 4 chapbooks in one. One of the chapbooks is, the breakfast one. Hi, I don't know what the title of my poetry is. Maple syrup collides with ham. Which is appropriate because that is directly from Twin Peaks, and Twin Peaks Day was 2 days ago, the day that Dale Cooper rolled into town saying, Diane, it's 11:25 or 35 a.m. or whatever on February 24th. And so I'm going to because I don't have a printer anymore, I love to read from paper, but it does save paper to read from my laptop. So I'm going to read from Maple Syrup Collides with Ham. A poem titled Those Beat Poets at Breakfast. Those beat poets always breakfasted on bacon and eggs, which won't set you back too much in your slim black flea market turtleneck. Poetry skitters from me these days like the slight gray mouse into the garage wall, except in the realm of breakfast, of Swedish butter cake, and of little hedgehog-shaped butter cookies, chocolate iced. Toast, please, illuminating hide and seek, butter freak, poet week, plug the leak. Breakfast poetry and upcoming poetry. So thank you for joining me for that. Just last night, I released a new episode of Podcast in A Minor, which is my songwriting podcast where I write a song and then just talk about whatever I want to talk about that somehow ties in with the song. How I wrote the song, or, hey, there's this line in the song and it mentions hedgehog cookies, so let's talk about hedgehogs, or something like that. And the song for this week's podcast is Hungarian Puzzle Box. So I have my Hungarian Puzzle Box, which I did put a film on Instagram and I think Facebook of how to open it. Well, actually, I did it on time lapse, so it's real fast. And then I kind of slowed it down to close it, but then it cut it off because the song clip I used, Tokorito No, a Hungarian rap song by the group Animal Cannibals. Big hit in '96 when I was there. that was too short, so it kind of cut it off. So I will, let's see, how will I do this? Okay, I'm going to just demonstrate as best I can. And when I pull back this, so you can see it's a wooden box. How do you open it? It won't open. I'm turning it upside down. It won't open. So you have to slide some panels. I have to hold on to this thing in the middle or it'll fall out. I just slid this one back and now I'm going to slide it to the side, but it's backwards. So I have to figure out which way it goes because I'm not looking at it. There it went. You can see this panel is now farther out. Now this, when I let go, if I slid it back far enough, this panel comes out and there's a keyhole. And where's the key? Oh, good question. There is a tiny little plank on the side that comes right out and there's a key hidden in here usually, but I think I can hear that it fell out into the box. Nope, it's right there. It's right here. It's in the side panel. There it is. I'm going to open up the box and we'll see what's inside. I got this in 1996, like I said in the podcast, in Keste, Hungary, on Lake Balaton. It's got a mirror. I did not show this. The mirror slides away and there is a little card in there behind it that I put in there a while back with embroidery on it from a friend. Well, what's in the box? What do I keep in my puzzle box? What treasures? 'Cause in the song, I keep more ethereal treasures, such as my lover's eye circles. Here's a $2 bill, American. Let's see it. Wow, it is a 2. It's a 2 spot. There we go. And we've got, this is a 2,000 lei bill from Romania. It has a window right here. What is that for? A solar eclipse. They released a special bill wherein you can safely watch the solar eclipse through this little window, or this one down here. 2,000 lei. Whoa! Well, before you get too excited, when I was there, 50,000 lei was about $3.50. This is 2,000. So their currency was at that time not as strong as ours. And so that is, I keep in my Hungarian box. I have 2 hospital bracelets here. This is my baby's and this is mine from back when I gave birth 18 years ago. Oh, this was from my pound puppy. His name was Riff. I named him after Russ Tamblyn in West Side Story. I was 9 or 10 years old. Oh, I have a little charm with my little boy, who's now a big boy, who's now an adult and taller than me. But that was a little charm that I think I gave to my mom. This is a little Pac-Man thing that he drew with a little Pac-Man maze on the other side. He's an artist. Just wait. Just wait until he gets going on his art. Oh, I have 2 little souvenirs, or, you know, mementos from my days at college radio. These are barrettes, promotional barrettes for the band Hole. I mean, a treasure. They're little plastic barrettes, like, you know, we wore when we were small children, and then we revived in college. That was kind of a 90s thing to kind of revive some of your childhood stuff that way. Oh, this is a little tag that says Zelda, and that was my black cat that I had years ago. She died in 2001 or 2. I can't remember, shortly after I got married. And finally, a bottle cap from IBC Root Beer. On the other side is a little picture of Frank Sinatra. When Frank Sinatra died, I bought a magazine that was full of pictures from his life, and I had some kind of cool book, like craft book, that was like, ooh, look, you know, Mod Podge it onto a bottle cap, and then I forget, make jewelry out of it and stuff. It was a long time ago. That was, Frank Sinatra died when I was in my early 20s, and I'm currently 49. So that is what is in my Hungarian puzzle box at current. I'm going to place my stuff back in there while encouraging you to check out the latest episode of Podcast in A Minor, because I made it just for you. And I like to share my little songs and, I don't know, talk about the stuff I'm doing. The key is in this little plank, and it's going back into the side. If I can line it up, there it goes. Turn her around. We're going to slide that so that it's even. We will not slide this front one until we put this back in place, except I do have to slide it a little. There it goes. Da-da-da-da, in there, and then forward with the bottom thing. It's really hard for me to figure out where to put my hands. Oh, I did it. It's done. Bought this from a little old lady at a stall in Keste in 1996. And if you just pointed, because maybe you didn't have a lot of Hungarian, which I didn't, then she would start demonstrating how to open it. And that was really fun. I had a memory just now when I said I didn't have a lot of Hungarian. I was there for one summer, sorry, 8 weeks. And we had a Hungarian friend that actually I lived in Columbia, Missouri at the time, and she was going to school in Fulton, Missouri, even though she was from Hungary. And one time we all went to Burger King in Budapest, and she gathered with us outside before we went in to help us to learn how to say what we wanted to order so we could place our orders in genuine Hungarian. And I memorized it. I wanted a double cheeseburger, which was like Doppelschweitburger and Coca-Cola or something like that. And I went in and I was the first in line, and I was so proud and I was so ready to bust out my new Hungarian. And I went up to the counter, and the dude behind the counter just took one look at me and handed me a picture menu so I could point. And his name tag said Attila, like Attila the Hungarian. So that was fun. All right, I think that's all I have to share, except for one more glance at Howling Breakfast of Moon Soda, and my apologies for flaking out on Third Sunday Poetry. Oh, here's Cesare. You know, when you write a song called Hungarian Puzzle Box and it accidentally turns out to be a love song, and last episode was all gooey about Valentine's Day, I just thought, well, instead of being gooey all over again, present a little love song, don't say anything about it, talk about puzzle boxes and the attractiveness of under eye circles, because I find them attractive. All right, Poems for Wandering Ghosts coming someday. I don't know when I can find some time and mitigate my fear of technology and get going on that, because I got some poems lying around that need a place to go. All right, thank you for joining me. See you next time.